Chelsea had the game sewn up. Chelsea had the game in their hands. They were 2-0 up, deserved it. First half, better team. The opening goal from Chelsea was so good. So good. Santos into Palmer that just has this wonderful habit of finding pockets of space and kind of going unnoticed. In football, we all use the phrase ghosting. That normally means when you hide. But he has this ability, and I don't know what it may have a colloquial term that the youngsters use. But he finds space, but he sort of goes unnoticed. He acts like a ghost in that regard, and he just picks the ball up and he turns and he plays a delightful, such a well-timed ball into João Pedro. His finish is amazing. It's 1-0. I felt at that point it was going to be over. And then second half, and I felt like I was at deja vu. Chelsea start the better team, and then they get a penalty. They win a penalty. And it was an identical penalty. It was an identical penalty to the one they received against Wolves. And it shocked me. It confused me as to why. I don't even remember who pushed him. It doesn't even matter who pushed him. It was one of their centre-backs, I think. I'm going to see his name and I'll remember. Was it Bival? Bival? I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't remember. Penalty, taken, scored. Game was over. The game was done. The game was finished. The game was kaput. There's nothing else to talk about. There was nothing else to talk about. It was over. It really, really was over. I mean, they only had 2 shots on target in the whole game. They only had 2 big chances in the whole game, and that was it for Leeds. But they win a penalty, and I have watched the replay 3 or 4 times because I'm seeing people state that it wasn't a penalty. And unless I'm missing something, Caicedo takes him out. I'm going to watch it again now, whilst you will tell me. But I'm waiting for the. I did have a link, and so it's been taken down for copyright. Oh God, come on, put it up. Why is it not up on the screen? But it looked like a penalty to me. It gives a penalty, and then it's 2-1, and you could see the young nature of the Chelsea team kick in again. They got nervous. You saw that Leeds, the ascendancy went with Leeds, the momentum went with Leeds, and then it was one long ball over the top, causing problems. Yes, it hit the elbow of the Leeds player, but it isn't a handball because it's accidental and it come off his thigh. I have no idea what the Chelsea goalkeeper is doing. I have no idea. Rob Sanchez, I've praised him so much this year. I've praised him so much this year, but I have no clue what he's doing, the way he comes out. I mean, he probably gave away a penalty if they hadn't scored for me. He just takes a man out from behind, and then bang, it's tapped in. It's tapped in by Okafor, and it's 2-2. And you think, how has this happened? How have Chelsea collapsed from this position against a relegation team? So good, so comfortable, so in control. And then the last 15 minutes of the game, in my opinion, was Chelsea's. They had the most momentum they had in the whole game. They had all the ball. They had so many shots. And then there was a massive chance right at the end. And it falls to the one player in this Chelsea team you would want it to fall to. And that is Cole Palmer. And he absolutely skies it over the crossbar. I can't believe he's missed it. Now, this isn't going to undo Chelsea's season. I still, again, Man United didn't win tonight. To see what happens with Aston Villa tomorrow night. So, they've gained, both of us have gained a point on Liverpool. If Liverpool, Everton lost tonight, it's one of those things. If Liverpool go and lose to Sunderland, you could argue actually, if Everton lose and Brentford lose and Liverpool lose, it won't be that bad a game week for Chelsea and Man United because we might actually gain a point on all the teams that are really close to us in terms of a Champions League spot. But it will be very disappointing for what's been a brilliant run in the Premier League for Liam Rosenior and for these Chelsea players. And it just brought back memories for me of their games against Sunderland at home this year. And a really, really horrible stat for Chelsea is they sit 11th in the league for home form. They're in the bottom half of the table for home form this season. And their away form's absolutely fantastic. Second best team in the league away from home. but 11th for their home form, and it's something that has to be addressed. And I suppose the one, listen, Man United, by the way, we had a game tonight. We're placing a relegation team, and we should be beating them as well. But Chelsea have this run of games that they've been on, where it's predominantly against sides, you know, that they played West Ham and came back. Wolves they beat. They had Leeds. I think their next Premier League game is Burnley. They're the games they need. You know, that's a really easy run of games in comparison to what comes next, which is Arsenal away, Villa away, Newcastle at home, and then Everton away. They really did need maximum points from this easy run of games. They might, by the way, go and win all those 4 matches, and this becomes an elementary conversation, but it's a much harder run of games that comes after. Then they play Chelsea City at home. So the 5 games that come after that. And then they play Man United at home. So there's no easy game in the Premier League. There's none that are massively easy. Teams give you a good run in, but they're this group of 4 games. And I think there'll be a sense of disappointment to have dropped points in one of them when you're leading 2-0 as well. And it's, you know, one thing that we've discussed many times on the terrace. Top class to world class centre backs are needed because they don't have a single one that is good enough. Colwell, maybe. He's obviously out injured. I say maybe. This year he comes back after his injury. Fofana ain't it. Can't stay fit enough. Can't play 2 games a week. Josh Achimpong, I think there's talent there, but he isn't ready yet. The rest, I don't even need to talk about them. The only Chelsea fans that defend them are people that can't hear that any criticism about their own club because they love it too much, but they find it difficult. Every Chelsea fan in their heart of hearts knows those guys are not the level to get you back to where you want to be, which is challenging for Premier Leagues. And you saw that again today. With the way you conceded those goals and everything else. Poor defending, poor goalkeeping, I felt as well. But look, I think for Chelsea, they've got an interesting week ahead. Got an FA Cup game this weekend, which, look, they're going to win, let's be honest, on Friday. They're not going to lose the Hull. We all know that. Then they've got Burnley at home the following week in the league, where, again, I feel that I think they'll win that game. I know that they've dropped points today against Leeds, but I think they'll beat Burnley. Then you get those run of 5 matches. By the way, sandwiched in that will be Champions League games as well. And that's, I think, the element which, because we don't know what their fixtures are going to be yet, but the Champions League games will start as well. So the rotation is going to come into play at that point as well. So it is big points dropped today due to that, I feel. But as ever, look, I want to get your views. I want to get your opinions on this. Do us a big favor, please, and like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already, because it means a great deal to us. But Chelsea will be bitterly disappointed with dropping points today. But they've got to brush themselves down. That right word? Brush themselves down quickly, because lots of big games on the horizon for them.